We are fine with that type of explanation, but then they must show both in their presentation to us. It's better if you show us the E&E than your other amounts as per graph. Because that doesn't mean you are projecting, means you are projecting ahead using the E&E, having already used the E&E. We must also recall, however, that the AG has been saying every single year that there's always evidence of overstated or understated amounts. And it just sounded to me that that was an explanation. So we must be very careful about these explanations because it can tend to hide corrupt and maladministration, corrupt acts and maladministration. An incomplete ERP, Archibus and IAR. Members, I'm just going to go to the italics. The committee required a fully detailed report on initial cost, service providers, staff training, etc. per module. I think what we know that it was a lot of money that was spent. But we also know now that we had how many service providers doing the training? Not one, 2 or 3. And I think there was a new one being appointed. I'm not certain, but that's the type of thing that's going on here. So the amount that we know is there is not the only amount, there's more. It's swelling. And yet, we don't see value for money for the Archibus yet. Infrastructure South Africa, we refer here to its budgeted amount as well as the MOU. I think this is where members referred, this is the one. The entity I couldn't remember earlier on. We referred to the presentation rather referred to 110 million allocated to Infrastructure South Africa from the Industrial Development Corporation of South Africa, IDC. And the member who is now not with us today, Graham Marie, she referred to this and wanted to know whether there was a new MOU. We didn't get a satisfactory answer, and therefore there's, I think, a recommendation required on that. The committee also wanted to know cost to company for ISA projects in the case of DPWI and PMT. And then a facilities management system, and we don't see anything of this in the APP, and we want to know where that is. And then we refer to the full operationalization that's required of the PMTE. Also refer to women in public works, infrastructure, and the construction and professional built environment. The chairperson referred to this, and we said, we spoke of a 45% performance indicator for the appointment of women was inappropriate and had to be raised. We referred to disturbances preventing completion of construction projects and to what is called the construction mafia, and I slashed social unrest because social unrest also does that. Just the italics here, members urge the department to report to the committee on a tracking and monitoring mechanism for all construction projects. And this is Honourable Thring saying he wanted to know what's the effect of these disturbances on the term in terms of budgeted costs per project, time to completion and the extra cost. That's what he wanted in a presentation or report. We move to the entities. The first entity that we have here is the CIDB. And as members have noticed, the CIDB has a